It's deadline day and it's a massive week in Hemel Hempstead Town season. We've got a returning hero, we've got the worst possible injury, and we've also got a chance to offload some players. Can we get them out of the club? Can we stay ahead in this title race? And can we finally make an assault on a Champions League? Let's go and find out how deadline day unfolds. Yes, hello and welcome along to part 161 of this FM22 One Club story from Hemel Hempstead Town with me, Daniel. Today in the Tudor Times, we have got transfer deadline day in January. We've got a big new returning hero to meet. We've got the man that we knew was coming in to meet. And we've got some disastrous injury news too. Add to that, we go away to Manchester City with just 7 points separating the top 5 in the Premier League. And this is turning into one hell of a season. So if you're looking forward to seeing what happens today, then please do chuck a thumbs up on the video and subscribe down below for daily FM22 content. And all the links down in the description below to support the channel and find all the other platforms. But let's get cracking because there is a lot to get through today. And transfer deadline day might be the biggest of our problems because we've got in the players we need to get in. And we've actually done a little bit of our summer work in advance. We've not been able to get people out of the club. And now we've got the worst injuries as well. I'm sure you've noticed it on the screen already. We're going to start with that news because in the last game, just as Frederik Anders came back from injury, the one he picked up in the last episode, of course, we had to get an injury to a superstar, didn't we? Gianni Gilbey is out for, it was approximately 6 to 7 weeks. It's now down to 5. But what a time for it. So that is a huge problem for us if the new lad we've got can't start scoring. But let's start with the work that's already been done in January because there are a few bits of information to get through. So firstly, the out is Dean Arthur. That's because of a returning hero who you can see on the left coming in. He has gone on loan to Everton for 600 grand. The fact of the matter is, Everton are a mid-table Premier League club and they've offered him first team football for the season, something we can't do. And I just feel that it was too good an opportunity to turn down. Going back again though, we've got a replacement that may look familiar to you. For £21 million, because we've signed him now rather than waiting for the summer where we'd pre-agreed a contract. Prince Shabinder, the best left back we'd ever had until last summer, is returning to the club. Now, there's a reason for this. Herve is a little bit injury prone. We saw he's been out for about 6 weeks prior to this. We've also got Klaas who keeps getting unhappy about all manner of things. And Shabinder, for a free agent, or for 20 million as it was now, it's a wonderful deal for this football club. Can cover at centre-half. He's 5'11". He's brilliant physically. We've seen how good he can be in this team when it was a lot poorer. He's played for a load of the biggest clubs in Europe. Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, Rangers, Arsenal. You don't get much bigger than that. Prince Shabinder is a great signing. And lovely to have him back, 6 years after he was last with us. Add to that the man we'd already agreed a deal for, Odogwu, who is going to get a run up front now, given the injury to Gilbey. £66 million in guaranteed money. He's good. He's not great. He's not scored for us yet, but has played really well. Picked up 3 assists in his first 5 league starts. But I'm not convinced he's going to be the goal scorer we need. If he can keep getting assists, that's fine. But Frederik Anders is going to have to score them all now because Gilbey before was the man putting the chances away. So only 19 years of age. He's a wonder kid. There's no doubt he's going to be exceptional. It's just whether in the last few years of this save, he's going to be able to make the big contribution. They're the ones that are already done. It leaves us with a massive squad on transfer deadline day. I'm a little less worried about a striker going out now because of course Azoma would have been the one to go normally. But Gilbey's now out for 2 of the 3 remaining months. So there's not as much of an issue with rotating for football. Add to that Azoma and Joe and Zaruk have all been away at AFCON this last month. The squad's been stretched, the youngsters have been playing football, but I'm not as worried about game time now. So we are going to take part in deadline day. We're linked with Silvera on loan. Every window it happens in this FM, doesn't it? You're linked with loan deals for players you could never possibly get. Silvera's one we tried to sign, and looking at him now, I wish we'd been able to, but still. It's a very good squad we've got. And if we do get a great offer for one striker, we'll probably still say goodbye. So let's go and take part in deadline day. The plan for today is if we get a big enough offer for Klaas the left back, who wants to go anyway because he's not got a new deal, Carlos Martin, who's just come back from a 3-month injury but isn't looking great, or for Azoma, who's away on international duty still, but not a bad little player, then any of those we will let leave. If we don't, well, we can have a big squad for the rest of the season. Let's skip ahead, we'll be back with any news. Well, I was 1 hour from coming back and saying I don't think I've ever seen anything like this in FM22. A deadline day in which we have not received a single offer, despite a whole host of world-class stars, although maybe that reflects our increased reputation now. What we have got with an hour to go, though, is an offer for one of our youngsters, Brandon Smith. Now, this is important because he's going at the end of the year on a free. We can't get a new deal for him. He's never going to reach this standard, so I'm just going to try and negotiate it up a bit and maybe get a fee for him and get him off 6 months earlier. But no offers for Azoma, none for anyone else. We've got a big squad for the rest of this season. Well, the offer was rejected by Reading. It hasn't gone through in time. And if you look at this transfer window as a whole, a bit like the summer, it's the first 2 times where we've really spent more than we've bought in. All those years of profit have added up. And we have spent, 87 million? Pretty much unanswered. Just 1 million or so back for Dean Arthur. We've upped the wage bill. We've gone bigger. But maybe we can compete in Europe now. I guess the one positive with the Gilby injury is he misses the last 16 tie. He misses the League Cup final maybe. But he is going to be back for the last 8 if we get there. So the Champions League is not a write-off yet. We're deadline day done. Let's get ahead to City. We'll reflect on our results when we come back for that. And maybe we'll squeeze in Leicester now as well. Fitness test time ahead of the City game as Herve and Martin make their ways back. We have also got some good news on the front of Adogwu, who did win Young Player of the Month despite not scoring yet for the club. Fitzrubeck has thrown his toys out the pram as Zoma has been dropped out the Champions League squad. And if we have a look at the schedule, we have been doing pretty averagely since you were last with me. So you were here for the Arsenal and Spurs games, and we've actually drawn 4 of our 8 Premier League matches since. But we've still got to the top of the table and gone 3 points clear, which tells you how the other sides are doing. So after you were last with me, we battered Leicester by 6-1. Gilby, Srubeck, Stamatis and Louis Kennedy, the youngster, getting his first for the club, with Collins and Joe wrapping up a brace too, before a 0-0 draw against Norwich on Boxing Day, then a 1-1 draw from the reserves 2 days later. Alberto Vass are home to Birmingham, helping them out again as the comments often point out. A 2-0 win away at Middlesbrough at the start of January allayed our fears slightly, with Chauvin and Gilby scoring just before half-time. Got his name wrong for the first time there. A 5-0 win followed at home in the Carabao Cup semi-final. Gilby got a hat-trick after Coronel's early brace. And then a 1-0 win away at Blackburn in the FA Cup with Carlos Torres scoring an early winner. And a 1-0 win in the second leg against Spurs. Carlos Torres again the hero this time. Back-to-back draws followed in the Premier League. 2-2 at home to Everton with Stamatis and Vass scoring. And 0-0 against Leicester. It was backs to the wall. To be honest, Arthur, who had to cover at centre-half, and John Moore were the best 2 players on the pitch for me. We broke the run of draws though with a massive win against City, but at what cost? At what cost? An early own goal really helped us on our way. Coronel, Vass and Anders got 1 apiece too. But Gianni Gilby, a first half injury at 2-0, and although Anders came back to fitness and scored off the bench from the penalty spot, oh, that's going to be huge. I've just got a feeling it's going to cost us something. A 2-0 win followed against Wolves. Anders again continuing his strong comeback. And Coronel really starting to come into form. And this month, thankfully, from a league point of view, there aren't many games. Yes, 2 of the 3 are away at City and Spurs. Yes, all 3 are away from home. But the cups are the most important thing here. We've got to get past Shakhtar. We need to do well in the FA Cup. And the Carabao Cup, we keep losing the final, so if we could win it, that would be lovely. Let's go and get into the City game though. Big, tough away trips in the Premier League this month. They've got a good side, still a couple of old boys in there, but let's see what 11 we can put out. A few injured or fatigued, as you can see. We'll be back in a moment to run through the 11. Right then, most of the changes for the last game were to weaken the side, so we've made most of them back this time around. John Moore starts in goal, back to first choice with Chauvin and Prince Shabinda at left back. Hervey's going to make a big start of the weekend, but 3 in a week or 2 in 3 days just was too much of a risk. He played an hour at the weekend. He's not doing more than half an hour tonight. We've got Andreka, Louise, Coronel and Vass the midfield diamond, and Joe still away on international duty. They're doing really well in AFCON, so Vass is covering number 10 due to Martin's continued comeback. And then Adogwu alongside Anders up front. Oh, I miss Gilby already. We haven't even had 2 weeks without him, and I'm already ruining his injury. So let's go and get into it, see if we can get a result. Anders, you need to be in form, son. And we are up against a familiar face tonight. It's Ignacio Jura as centre-half for City. That is going to be interesting. Up against the new look front two for us. And who would have thought, even 6 months ago, when we were at the end of the last transfer window, that Frederik Anders would now be the man that our hopes hinged on. It's absolutely amazing how it works out. I feel like Harry Redknapp with Gareth Bale at Spurs, when he sort of stumbled upon him due to injuries and then just found a world-class player from somewhere. That's what we've done with Anders. Now can he deliver for us? Well, it's been a good start in terms of the stats, and the first highlight is us on the front foot. Prince Shabinda puts a cross in. And Adogwu, for all his quality since he's come in, he's set up loads of goals. He's played some fabulous stuff. He's missed a few really gilt-edged chances. As Jura playing a 1-2 with a keeper. Bit risky that. Long ball only finds Chauvin, who chips it up towards Adogwu. Great little dummy. Vass is in. And it's saved one-on-one by Miku. Corner kick it'll be. Can we find the winning touch? There's going to be plenty of big men at the back post. Up goes Hannafan. Can't get there. Davidson heads away. One of the best young centre-halves in the world. Did his job from that set piece. And we're back with 24 on the clock as City make the first foray forward on camera. And Booser on the edge with a big curling effort. But thankfully it's wide of the post. Comfortable enough, but a little warning sign of what City can offer. And they've got a free kick on the right again and Booser takes it. Jura in, the shot's blocked. Brilliant from John Moore. How did he get up and back across that quickly? I'll never know the answer, but it's wonderful goalkeeping. And City are really on the front foot at the minute. Zaruk forced into a hoof downfield. Adogwu does really well to flick on. And Anders holds up for Vass. Coronel finds Anders again. Back to fitness, but not fully in form. As it's through to Adogwu. First goal for Manchester City. Or for Hemel Hempstead, sorry. Forgot who I'm managing for a minute. And look who set it up. Prince Shabinda. A defence-splitting pass. We've missed that quality for so many years. And Adogwu, a first goal for the club. Now he moves into the advanced forward role with Gilby injured. Is he going to be the man to step up? I put my faith in him, and so far he's delivering. As City have a free kick on the right on the stroke of half time. It'd be the worst time to concede. To the back post, it's bobbling around. Zaruk's made an error. He's been away at AFCON for a month, and I tell you what, he wasn't ready to come in, was he? In because Davris wasn't fit. And it's crucial. It's 1-1. It's an awful time to concede. Let's get through the dressing room. We'll say we don't like what we've seen. It gets most of the lads motivated. As we're back with a City corner. 4 minutes into the second half. And Booser delivers. He's been really good in recent moments. Out to the edge of the box. And back to him again. Delivers to the back post. It beats everyone. But he was offside anyway. We survive it. I'm going to drop to balance because we're getting caught here. Hopefully the lads can step it up. But it's a throw for City again on the left-hand side. Advanced position. Up to the centre forward. Prieto. Holds it up. It's a great ball for Mbusa. And he really should have hit the target. It goes flying over the bar. John Moore weren't saving that if it was in the corner. 20 minutes left. We're clinging on at the moment. It's been a really poor half for us so far. We're running out of legs in defence and in midfield. So I think we're going to have to go for wholesale changes. Louise will be replaced by De Vita. We're going to replace Coronel with Carlos Martin. Vass will drop into midfield. And Chauvin will be replaced by John Mellon, who comes on against his former club. It's the best I can do, but the fatigue setting in. And at the weekend in the FA Cup, it's going to be all change, I think. Well, with 2 minutes plus stoppages to go, it looks like we're heading for another draw. To be honest, with the away games we got this month, it wouldn't be a bad result. But it's a City corner first, which Mellon heads away. Only as far as the ever-present Mbusa. Davidson back to him again. Good challenge, and now we can counter. But Martin's ball forward, it was panicked, it was aimless. And it goes straight to halfway, gifting possession back to City. Though Adogwu nicks it. 4-on-4 momentarily. He's forced backwards to Mellon, but he gets in behind. This could be a moment of arrival. Into Frederik Anders. I was already celebrating. He doesn't miss those. And he puts it wide, and now we're defending a set piece. Up to the back post. Oh, it's off the line. It's bobbling around all over the place. It's a frantic finish. It's offside from the rebound. And we can breathe. 1-1 is the final score. Both teams had a great chance to nick it in stoppage time. But overall, on the balance of play, and given the position the title race is in, I'll take that all day long. On to Leicester in the FA Cup. Hopefully a bit more of a peaceful one, that. Well, back for a repeat of last year's FA Cup final, which we won 2-0 against Leicester. We'll be lining up against another one of our former stars in Arlan, and we will be using this opportunity to get people back to fitness. The others still away at AFCON due to the final being this weekend. Shabinder is now out with a minor illness as well. So let's go and pick a much changed 11, and we'll be back in a minute to talk through it. Okay then, we've gone as strong as we possibly can with our backup side. We've had to rotate the defence around a bit, and we have had to put Stamatis in due to a lack of fit midfielders and a few being away still. But that means our 11 for today is Murillo in goal, Class at right back for the first ever time, Mellon into centre half alongside Hanifan. That's because Arthur's obviously out. It would have otherwise probably been Shabinder and Hanifan today. Herve playing left back, De Vitter in the holding role, Luis, Stamatis and Martin the rest of the midfield. Torres and Srubeck up front. No youngsters on the bench because it's also the FA Youth Cup today. But Martin and Herve will only do an hour. So let's go and get into it. Hemel Hempstead v Leicester, a repeat of last year's FA Cup final. Can we get the same outcome? On 9 changes for us, only 2 for Leicester, who are managed by Ben Godfrey. And it's not just Arlan we're up against, because David Peebles is playing as well. So we've got 2 former men in the team there. But overall, Leicester are probably taking this more seriously. But we've got the bigger squad, we've got the stronger squad. And with some of the players returning from injury, we've actually got some first teamers in. So hopefully, as we go into the first half, we'll be able to get a good result with our home crowd in. And here we are early doors, 8 minutes on the clock, and we're back with Arlan in possession for our visitors today. Hopefully he'll have got a good reception, and Peebles in fairness. I know Peebles played a lot less, but they were both good pros for us. As the long ball forward, oh you idiot! Martin class! Oh, I wish we'd sold him on deadline day. I really wish we'd sold him. What's he doing? The keeper's there, and if you're going to take charge of the situation, put your bloody foot through it. You've got a lot of making amends to do here, as he's got it on the right-hand side. Poor ball's intercepted by Wanma. Oh, I'm about to find villain number 1 at the football club. Meanwhile, what's even worse about this is he's behind the scenes, moaning about his contract. He's on 120 grand a week, saying, oh, I want more money. I think I'm worth more than I'm on. Well, not when you're doing that, you're not, because you might be costing us a place in the FA Cup and a chance to defend our trophy. So he's beaten to it again. Everything's coming down that side. David Peebles steps up. Chased down by Class. Can he stop the cross? Back to Danilo. Peebles crosses. Peris heads just over. And the side we beat 6-1 just a month or so ago are really taking the mick out of us here. And they're on the front foot again. But Stamatis gets back and wins it for Herve. Over halfway to Louise. Back to Hanifan. Forward to Herve. And it's not even a thing with Class about playing on the weak side. He's two-footed as Louise is in. Puts the shot wide of the post. We've got the same problem today, haven't we? None of those goal scorers are in. Without Anders, without Njo, without Coronel and Gilby, where do the goals come from? That is the big question here. Torres holds the ball up for Class on the right. Through ball to Louise. Has he made amends? Oh, he hasn't. It's a great save from Asprilla. Corner kick, but that was the first big chance. Taken by Martin to the back post. I don't know why we didn't see the first bit of it. But Hanifan nods it back across goal to Mellon. We'll see if we can get the full highlight if it is awarded after the VAR check. I'm not sure if the keeper was in front. He wasn't. The goal is awarded. So let's have a quick look at that again. The corner came from Martin. Classic outswinger. Hanifan back into Mellon. And his man lost him. Excellent work. Not the best goal in the world, but if set pieces can save you, that's great. As Herve plays a free kick to Louise. He's starting to come into the game now. Stamatis finds Srubeck. Stamatis again to Torres. Holds it up. We're very narrow, but we've got lots of players forward. As De Vitter goes wide to Martin Class. Forced backwards. Why have you gone to the keeper? You've got a 10-yard pass in front of you. He might get hooked at half-time. As Herve holds the ball up into Stamatis and Martin to Torres to Srubeck. Running off him is Louise. Through to Torres, 1-on-1. Emphatic finish from Carlos Torres. He won North American Player of the Year. Gilby won the Ballon d'Or. I forgot to mention that as well, didn't I? But what a goal. We've turned it on its head. And again, VAR awards the goal. 25 minutes gone, comeback complete. Now can we go on and make this comfortable? As Danilo comes down the left, we've got to be careful not to concede again. He's challenged, but Arlan chips it forward. Mellon flicks on, and it's through to Murillo in goal. Takes his time. He can roll it out here. There's no pressure on the centre halves. And he's got De Vita right in front of him. What's he going to do? Out to Hanifan. Supporting midfield, but goes wide to Herve. He carries the ball forward. Long ball over the top to Torres. He's in again. Rounds the keeper. It's a good save. Peebles clears it away to Danilo. And Leicester away down the left. 2-1. We've dominated the game. But a stupid mistake from Klaas. And he's lucky to have a 6.7 in fairness. Well, it stays that way to half-time. The expected goals tell the story. The only great chance they've had is the one that we gifted them. And it was a proper gift. So with 5 minutes gone in the second half, we'll keep an eye on the scores. Klaas is somehow on the verge of a 7.0. But I'm going to take him off before too long anyway, because everything is coming down this side. Danilo delivers the cross, headed away by Mellon. De Vita holds it up for Luiz. And Stamatis to Martin. Over the top towards Srubeck. There's no one there. I'm just thinking, can I take him off? Because I'm going to have to take Herve off on the left. Or we could risk giving him 90 as Hanifan at the back. Long highlight this with not much happening so far. Mellon picks it up, carries it forward. Now he's made a shocker. Oh, it's catching. Lowe's got himself in. Hanifan was 10 yards behind the offside line. What is going on back there? We're all over the shop. Mellon's caught a case of Martin Klaasitis. And the ball's coming in from Peris. As it's delivered to the front post, Alberto heads over. And we see determined to shoot ourselves in the foot. We'll give it till the hour mark. We'll then make subs. But I'm not convinced by our defence here. So it's a long ball forward again from Leicester. Mellon takes it down. Carries over halfway. He's got acres of space to run into. And he does just that. Before going back to Klaas. He finds Mellon again and De Vita. Been the constant source of consistency in front of that back four. And Srubeck. To Martin. To Torres. Is he onside? He's been forced wide. And the ball back to Herve. It's just over hit. It's behind him. And he has to go back to Hanifan. Starts again. Wide to Herve. Support from Luiz. Into Martin. Torres and Srubeck running off. Played into Wits Srubeck. And that's a lovely little finish. 3-1 into the bottom corner. And now we can hopefully relax a little. And we're just over 25 to go. We're going to make those changes now. Chauvin will come on for Herve. We'll have to keep Klaas on and put him left back. Martin will be replaced by Adogwu, I think. He's the man I want to bring on out of them. Luiz will have to go into the number 10. Adogwu's going to play centre midfield. And then maybe in 5 or 10 minutes time we'll bring on Anders as well. Just to keep building his fitness after injury. And Luiz is struggling in midfield. So maybe he's the candidate to come off. It's a goal kick for Leicester. They're going to go more direct. They're going to be more aggressive now. And Asprilla takes it downfield. As far as low, it's a missed header from Hanifan. We have been all at sea defensively. Do I even bring on Davris and just see this game out? And Drekker's another candidate, but it's not going to be either. We're going to bring on Anders. We're going to take off Luiz. Torres will go number 10. Srubeck advance forward. And we'll just try and see the game out. Into the final 10 minutes, we've got a Martin Klaas throw at left back who plays a 1-2 with De Vita and finds a Adogwu. Brilliant passer of the ball, so he can drop into that midfield role, and Torres turns his man with ease, finds Srubeck. Has support, plays short to Torres, Stamatis makes the run through, he's 1-on-1, Stamatis dinks the keeper, and doesn't quite beat the woodwork. It hits the top of the bar on its way over. Despite 2.5 expected goals, we have to settle for just 3 now. Although to be fair, we have taken our key chances in this one, as Barbona on the left finds Bandara. Through ball from Fagan, intercepted by Chauvin, and Mellon does well back to his keeper. Chauvin just shored things up back there a little bit, carries the ball forward to Stamatis. He's had a really good game in the middle, finds Torres, through ball to Anders, off the bench and on the score sheet. Frederick Anders. How have you become the hero of this save? I tried all summer to let you go. You almost went. And now, you are the man I rely on. Frederick Anders scores 4-1 Hemel Hempstead Town. All bow to the German. What a hero. We're into the hat for the next round, the last 16. And we beat Leicester in the repeat of last year's final. With the FA Cup tie won, let's look at when we're next going to be back. And it will be Another domestic cup game we're back for, the Carabao Cup final against Newcastle, a final we keep losing in recent seasons, so hopefully we can put that right this time. If you're looking forward to all that and you did enjoy this episode, please do put a thumbs up on it. If you want to stay up to date and see how the season finishes, subscribe and turn that notification bell on. But thank you for watching as always, your support is hugely appreciated. And as we put our focus on deadline day today, why not check out my top 3 FM transfer tips, just above my head now.